A little over 2 years ago, Indie Volt Radio began podcasts with owner Varian Grant and co-host Randy Zimmerman sitting and talking about comics. What they didn't realize at the time is that they were growing an entire family as the podcast grew, with multiple nights and multiple friends all sharing their love and appreciation for this fantastic art form known as comics. A love that has now turned into a revolt. Welcome to Indie Volt REVOLT. More than a mishmash of stories or art thrown together between two covers, more than a group of preview snippets for ideas that people hope to continue. This is a true portfolio collection featuring a lot of the talent that you hear all the time on Indie Volt Radio and their podcasts. It starts with over 110 black and white pages filled with a variety of sequential art brought to you by the best talent possible in the alternative and independent comics market. Over 24 creators putting forth their best efforts in order to entertain you with stories that'll have beginning, middle, and ends. You don't have to have read other books in order to understand what's happening here. All you have to do is buy the book, sit down, and enjoy the revolt. Around this book are two different sets of covers, front covers, both sides. It's a flip book. You're going to go in a good 60 pages from one front cover, and then you're going to close the book, turn it over, and look at another front cover, and go in again with another set of short stories. Cover set 1 features Russ Leach and his main character from Only Death Can Save Us. Russ also has a story inside featuring the Horseman War. On the other side of that is Mischievous by Daphne Lage, who, along with writer J.D. Calderon, brings Mischievous back to life for the first time in 2 decades. Cover set 2 has a great cover by Chris Scalf, known for Star Wars and G-Fan covers, along with another cover featuring Retro Ram by Kirk Jarvin and Jason Moore, and colored by Xenoscope's Chris Hall. This book also features the return of Retro Ram with a story written by Ralph Griffith, scripted by Stuart Kerr, with finishes by Mark Bloodworth and Jason Moore, ending in a small memorial dedication to Ralph Griffith, featuring a portrait done by the great Vince Locke. And that's only the beginning. Further stretch goals will stretch the length of this book out to who knows how long, with stories from Mark Darden, Luke Stone, and even one promised by Varian Grant himself. This volume will also note the return to comic publishing of Arrow Comics. Arrow has been printing off and on since the mid-'80s, dedicated to independent creators' rights and ownership. Arrow Comics is already in full production for a line of direct market books, as well as more crowdfunding campaigns. But first, there's Revolt. Along with each copy of Revolt, there will also be included a random Arrow Comics issue from at least 20 years ago. Don't call them antiques, just call it great reading. So whether or not you enjoy and listen to the Indie Volt podcast, and whether or not you've even read an Arrow Comics before, here's your chance for some great alternative and independent comics reading right here in the Indie Volt REVOLT. What are you waiting for? Get yours today. And thanks for being here.